What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Wizards Workshop. I'm Mike Paul 216, and today I want to talk to you about Spider-Man Universe Beyonds, and we're going to compare the prices to Spider-Man to Final Fantasy, and then we're going to look at the prices of Tarkir Dragonstorm right here on TCG Player. And although the prices do look scary, none of this is exactly set in stone just yet. September is a long ways ahead or down the line. And as you can see it here on the chart, prices are starting to go down. And if you even look at the sells right now, the total sells are at 3. I can guarantee you that these boxes are going to be available come release date, and they're going to be around for quite a while. There's no reason to be scared of not getting your hands on this. Yes, the pre-orders are pretty much sold out, but this is going to be around for a while. I can almost absolutely guarantee you that come September, you'll be able to get your hands on this box if you really want to. The one that you really have to worry about not being available is probably going to be the collector box, which the market price is at $550 $550 right now, which is absolutely crazy as well, because like a collector box should be no more than maybe $300. In my opinion, $300 is still really expensive for a box of cards, and especially when you're only getting like, what is it, 12 booster packs in a box. Each pack contains 15 cards, and there's not going to be a serial card in the Spider-Man set. From what I'm reading here, it says that there isn't one, but I can put money on it that there's going to be like a fancy foil in here. Probably something like the Jurassic Park cards, or maybe even like the mana foils or something like that. But I can also see the prices probably going down for this box as well once we get closer to September. And it'll probably drop to maybe 350. I mean, that's just a guess on my part. But I don't think it's going to be anywhere near like maybe $600. That's just ridiculous if it does stay that way, but we won't know until, September comes around. I do find it interesting that they have these welcome decks, which in my opinion should be precons, but for some reason Wizards decided to do standard decks instead of doing precons, and not really doing a whole lot of commander stuff for this set. Which, like, commander is like everyone's jam now, whereas back in the day standard was what I was originally introduced to Magic on. And as you can see here, there's no pricing data for it, but these boxes I think will be worth some money if you're able to get your hands on them, simply because like collectors out there are going to want them. They'll be like maybe a one and done thing. I don't see them like really coming back. Now, if we look at like Final Fantasy and the play booster box that they have for this set, this was an expensive box when they first announced it. In February, this was $214, and it slowly came down to $162. And it's the same thing's going to happen with Spider-Man. You'll be able to get your hands on these boxes simply because not a lot of people really buy the draft boxes or the play boosters, because the contents inside aren't as valuable as a collector box. And the same thing goes for like the collector booster box as Spider-Man. These are going to be the boxes that are going to sell out, which right now it's at a market price of $619. And the chart is like up and down. It looks like it's starting to climb up again, but it peaked at $674, which is a lot of money for a collector box. But it makes sense that this box is going to be like $600 because they have a serial card in there. How many they're going to have, I don't know. It might just be one. But that's just speculating on my part. Like, all these prices are all going to come down. Like, all these singles here, there's going to be, of course, there's going to be like cards that are going to be more expensive than others. Like, once people start going through product. But all this stuff right here, like the Cactar, where it says $117, that's not going to be $117. Like, there's going to be so much of this stuff floating around. Once people start cracking through it, the price is going to drop down tremendously. I mean, it's kind of a shame that all this stuff has just came out and they didn't really do anything with Tarkir, which is the set that's coming out in April. We're like weeks away from that set coming out. And Final Fantasy and Spider-Man got the push, and Tarkir didn't get anything. And it's all because they wanted to get that pre-sale money. So let's look at Tarkir really quick here. And the collector box, this is what a collector box should be priced at. It should be at least at like $250, $240, you know, maybe $150. I mean, if wishful thinking, yeah, but even this stuff is going down in price, and it's kind of climbing back up. It's because we're getting closer to April. It's going to go up for a little bit, but once everybody gets their hands on it, and if the set doesn't do well, it's going to come back down in price. But if it does really well, it's going to go up in price. That's just how collector boxes go. And I really do think that Tarkir is going to be a really good set, in my opinion. It's going to be better than Aether Drift. I mean, even just looking at the cards themselves, the artwork looks tremendously better than Aether Drift. Like, tremendously better. And there isn't even a whole lot really to go off of. But the artwork on these cards just looks so much better. Like, look at that. Looking at that, and a foil of that is going to a Halo foil. Those look so much better than Aether Drift. Like, I mean, it doesn't even compare between the two. These are so much better. I mean, I guess my only complaint is that if you don't get your hands on Spider-Man or Final Fantasy, it kind of is what it is. I mean, this is the new norm for Wizards now. They're building the FOMO up, and they're making all this Universe Beyonds standard now, which is ridiculous. But this is what happens when Lord of the Rings comes out and makes big money. They're gonna have to try to find a way to go to the next level, and this is the next level. I mean, where do they go from here? Like, what's the next IP that can possibly do better than Spider-Man and Final Fantasy? If you want to share your thoughts, just drop them down in the comments below. That's gonna be it for me. Keep a lookout for my Commander video that's coming out pretty soon on Wolverine the Best There Is, and I will see you in the next one.